You know it's nearly 7.
Oh, but it's always nearly 7.
Well, I'm hungry.
I never knew you when you weren't.
Well, what should we do after dinner? Go to a theatre?
Oh no, I loathe listening.
Well, let us go to the club.
Oh no, I hate talking.
What say we trot around the Empire?
Oh no, I can't bear to look at things. It's so silly.
My name is Callum Moore and I'm the director for The Importance of Being Earnest.
My name is Roy McCaskill and I am the producer of The Importance of Being Earnest.
I love the play. I think it's really, really funny. Every time I read it, it always cracks me up.
I of course had heard the name, but I was quite unfamiliar with it. I think that was something that was intriguing to me, in that Earnest was a play that was in equal parts well known and to some almost entirely unknown.
So what we wanted to do is to keep it upbeat, but read between the lines and actually make more of it, make it our own production of Earnest rather than something that everyone else just knows.
Well, the audition process is always a fun time. You know, it starts out with the concern over whether anyone will turn up or not.
Auditions, like every other part of a show, need to be well rehearsed. You need to have your page numbers drawn up. You need to have a basic idea of what you're looking for each person. And beforehand, Rowan and I drew up character identity sheets to give people a fair shot of what to look for and what to perform. And that's everything from age to characteristics to relation to other characters within the play.
You've definitely got to have the legwork put in beforehand. It's a very fast-paced process by nature, it has to be.
You need to have all those bits together, otherwise people either don't have a fair chance or they don't have the full potential and auditions won't run as smoothly as they could do. What we look for is confidence. Confidence in the role, confidence in themselves and potential in how they're going to perform. I think that some early grasp of the character is always good, but we get surprised with people who have great instincts for acting. And I think that's the most pleasant surprise, people who have good acting instincts.
The auditions were of a very, very high standard. It made it a difficult process to sort through, particularly considering that Earnest is not by no means a small play, but 8 cast members is not a gigantic one. So we did have to confront some very difficult decisions.
Auditions overall were a very high standard. We went from having 28 to having 15, which was good overall.
On the callback list, we found it surprisingly easy. Funnily enough, we had such a wonderful response, and yet we knew that there were only so many people we could let through to each stage. But getting to that point, having a comprehensive enough callback list where we still allowed ourselves a huge array of diversity and choice, thanks to the group of people that turned up to audition this year, it was made surprisingly easy.
We wanted people who wanted to be in the show. I think wanting to be part of something is really important. It's not just the talent. Talent is obviously a huge part of it, and if you can see that talent and that potential, then you've got to seize it, and those people are the ones that got through. But 80% of our cast, and I think something like 70% of the callback list, ended up being newbies, which was fantastic. So for our very first session we had all together, we called everyone back to our flat, which was really nice. It was quite homely actually, and everyone sat around and we told them to treat it like it was a radio drama. So to give it their all and to actively test people against people, to see how they sounded in these parts, to see what they could give, and I think as well, particularly with the new cast, to show what they could give each other.
I think a lot of the read-through was essentially just a confirmation of the job that I and the rest of the crew had ahead of us. That was certainly more exciting than daunting, however. I think by the time we got to the end of the read-through, we were very assured in ourselves that we'd made the right decisions.
And after that, we actually had a really nice time and just had pizza, and people were relaxed, and they became more of a crew, more of an ensemble, because that's really important. If you don't have that morale and camaraderie from the get-go, then it's not as fun to go on. And you should be professional by all means, but you should also be enjoying it, otherwise there's no point.
With this production, we had 4 weeks to put it on, which is actually slightly above the average, both of what the society normally allows in terms of time to put on a show, and in what I'm used to in terms of the time I have put on shows. Traditionally, what I've done has been closer to the 2.5 week mark. So it's very easy to get carried away in the excitement and the energy that's brought forward in, well, or hopefully good rehearsals.
The rehearsal process, for me, starts always with a warm-up, because you need to warm up your cast. It's like expecting people to go into something they haven't done before, because they haven't. You can act before, but you've never played that character before. You can't expect someone to go into that dry and just kind of do it. My process, again, personally, is you do your warm-up, and then I give actors the chance to just do a scene, with no feedback, no nothing, just purely instincts. Try it out, use the tables, move the chairs, whatever you need, put it where you like, and I want to see how you would do it, which they normally do, and it can often be quite static, but they give it a shot, and when you do that, you can see things that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of before with a character. It's like little movements they have or whatever, and that's always good to see. Line learning is always a difficulty. I think with regardless of your cast, particularly, like I say, because Wilde is so wordy by his very nature, there's a lot some people have to learn. And I'd say the key for it is gradual build up. One thing I always say to my cast is, don't learn it as a song, because if you learn your lines as a song, as soon as someone breaks your tune, you're stuffed. With my method, I think that the cast find it a bit wacky sometimes. I'm really into wacky warm-ups, stuff that gets people close and personal, stuff that gets people relaxed, but also encouraging them to play. I'm all about playing, with not only with characters, but as people in a space, because it's called a play for a reason. If you're not enjoying it, if you can't really loosen up and get into it, then there's no point. So I think people sometimes need to get used to that a little bit, but ultimately, I find it always brings out the best in people.
So we always do a sort of warm-up, and those warm-ups are getting more and more effective, I feel, because everyone's starting to pick it up and it goes really quickly and everyone gets warmed up quicker. And then we've done a full run of Act 3, so off script, and that's challenging because you're searching for your lines and then trying to act as well.
Tonight, Act 3 is pretty much the act where obviously everything comes together, and I've got a lot of stuff that's important to be said and just a lot of stuff generally to say, and I don't know that currently. So it was a bit of a mishmash. I knew what I was going through, but I just, like, the words were coming out back to front. But aside that, no, it's good. It's nice to have it, like, get it all up in its feet and without script, so you have the bare bones, and then we've got the next week and a bit to refine it all.
We certainly wanted to make this show as collaborative a process as possible, and that doesn't just go for between the directorial team and the cast. We wanted to make sure that backstage, in all its facets, was a fully functional member, a part of this production itself. And so from that, we made sure we wanted to gauge the interest of people in helping out with those aspects of the production, largely from day one. And I'm very happy to say we had an incredible and very enthusiastic response from people from all parts of society, whether they'd been in it in previous years or have just joined, to help out with all aspects of putting on this show, whether it be being a stagehand, working up in the nest on sound or lighting, doing hair and makeup, and I'm very pleased with the way that it's all come together, and I think that Cal and I are very proud of the people who've all come and voluntarily given their time to help us out with this.
Today is the 14th of October 2017, the night before the show. I'm very excited. I'm a little bit nervous. I think all the cast will be very nervous as well because it's an early start tomorrow. You know, we're all meeting up at front of Mick Rubber at 9 AM in order to get set in and get set up for 10 AM because every show day is a long day. So there's that eager anticipation, but also that kind of compartmentalizing of, okay, so I've got this, that's in place, good, we've got that sorted, okay.
First night's always a very interesting one. I'm definitely looking forward to the energy that the audience is going to bring to this show, because that's always the real X factor in any play that you want to put on. In a comedy, you can ramp that factor up by about 10. So it will be very intriguing to see how the audience responds to the work that our actors have put into these characters, the way this whole production has been assembled, and even more interesting to see how the cast responds to them. So I'm hoping for a night of a very enjoyable dialogue between those two groups.
I felt the whole process has been very positive. I'm glad we had the 4 weeks because in such terms there's actually quite a long time to go over it. But I feel we've made the most of our time. We've chosen well with our cast. I'm so glad we've got so many new faces. And I have no regrets about anything because we've done so much as a team, both cast, crew, production team, directorial team, to get it sorted. And everyone's pulled their weight. And you actually can't expect anything more than that. So I'm excited and I'm glad that it's happening, and I'm just glad that I did it. I'm glad that we all got to be a part of this because I think that everyone's really enjoyed it. Voicemail. Damn. I'm gonna go and get him. Hello, Matt. Hey man, we were just outside yours. No problem. See you in a sec. Bye. Success.
Oh, did he sound like he'd just woken up?
Yes.
Okay.
He sounds absolutely knackered. Oh, the boy wonder. He's here. No, Matthew.
He's like trying to batter the window.
Hello.
You've got to get out for him, don't you? Or are you shuffling?
Oh, this is actually more space for him, believe it or not.
Okay, cool.
Hello, big crap. Oh, good. Morning. Hello.
I was letting you guys suffer.
Thanks, Lauren. We're all here though.
Nice for a time. Are you filming this?
This is part of the documentary.
So this is going to be some of the up close and personal backstage interviews. We have had lots of reduced. Oh, you've got a small spider on you.
Oh, do I? Yeah. Oh, thanks. Can you get it off? Yeah. Let's go with that. We were joking because you know, if any of you can't do it, Rowan has to be Lady Bracknell or be any of the other characters.
Yeah, but I'm apparently understudying for the entire cast.
He is our swinger. Sorry, swing.
Thank you. Yeah, those are two different things.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I forgot one bag.
What bag did you? Are you kidding, Matt?
I forgot the shoes.
Fuck!
Pass these.
Yeah, sure.
Is this everything?
For the love of Christ.
No, Matthew, do
Mind
not
your
put the
bag
bag on
still,
top.
your bag still.
Matthew,
I don't. That sort of puff tobacco, whilst at the same time smoking a pipe through both nostrils did not work. They clashed colour-wise, and also I put on 2 stones since I last wore them. So
I actually had 7 stagehands before, but that one didn't do what it said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got your costume and I've also got the sort of Victorian style workers.
Tessa, if you stay here with the things, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the rest of us, we're going to head to the garage now and go and get all the stuff. Are you going to drive over in the car, Lauren?
Yes.
Who wants to be lazy and get a car ride with Lauren?
May I quickly have a cigarette?
I also have a car.
Amy also has a car.
This is my morning jog, boys. I'll probably do that first now.
Did you see that too?
Yes, I did. It's all about the farmers. That's a good movie. I watch that every Christmas.
Morning.
Okay. Stuff.
Spectacular.
Oh, yeah. It's good. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. Okay, just don't think anything just here, guys. And then when you've done that, head on through. So far so good. We've got everything sorted for Act 1. Act 2 stuff is going to arrive later on, which we can practice out then. And the rest of it is just being kind of placing actors, and Lauren has done the lights, which is great. And Rowan is currently working on our music. So we are getting there, and we're actually doing very well for time because it's not even 12 yet.
So right now I'm assorting a lovely collection of overtures for when we open the house. And then I'm going to start writing down some timestamps for the intermission music so that it can be annotated into our script for the nest up there. Should be good.
Nice.
Oh dear. I'm gonna go to the living room.
Yeah, shift through, Marina. 3967.
Someone get the
I write it down.
Thank you.
We go for a bag.
Get a tag, get some food.
Don't. They need to move it. Yes, Matt, maybe, potentially. I've not killed everyone.
Can the 5 of you come and stand in a line past the table, please? As if it's the final bit.
Well, we've got just over a couple hours until the show finally opens. The show is sold out. Opening night is sold out, and tomorrow night will be sold out very, very soon. So, good. Yeah, let's hope the guys are ready.
feel generally excited, very tired, probably have some coffee. But I feel the nerves will kick in sooner or later. So they'll kick in quite soon.
Go out, have fun, say the important things.
By being earnest.
Yeah.
But what if I miss the important things?
Then try and get them in somewhere. Just
What
breathe,
if I miss them?
relax.
But what if I miss them?
We're all up there together, so if you miss them, someone else will grab them for you.
Okay, thank you.
We're a team.
Okay, that's so
This is
inspirational.
that question again. My God.
So you just get up there, breathe, be your characters, and it'll all be okay.
Thank you, Andy. Thank
No problem. This is more for my benefit than it is for anyone else's.
Just hyping yourself up. Very nervous.
Do I need to No? I think it won't be like this is the first time. That's always worse. I think tomorrow will be better because everyone knows what they're doing, and now I feel like everyone is just one big mess.
It's like the first time on stage.
No, what isn't? Like
No,
the
this
it's
stage.
yeah, the dress rehearsal for me personally went very bad, but I always got told that if the dress rehearsal goes bad, the production goes good. So I'm gonna hold on to that with all my heart. I just want to be out there. I don't even want to do this anymore.
Going
Just like I want to go
downstairs
out
now.
there.
But it's fine. It's all fine. I feel like Ross and Friends, and he's just like, it's fine. It's fine. That's me right now.
Same.
That's me.
So much to be, so much to do.
So much to
Let's
be.
do that.
Hello. How are you feeling, Pete? Slightly nervous about my cues. Since the group is supposed to be on. When are we on?
You know when to go on? So what you do is you wait until the loud music starts lowering down the volume, and when it starts doing that, Pete goes on first.
Yep.
He does his thing, set up, and then you go in a little while after him, and then you do your thing that you did before, and start playing. And then
Which way am I going from?
that way. Yeah, same way as Pete.
You should wait.
Yeah, you wait. Look sick. The transitions are so good. Like my folks were like, "Oh, it's very professional. It's very, very professional." So no, transitions look great. Like very slick, and the whole butler servant thing, because everyone knows exactly where they're going. It looks really good on stage. I'm so happy. Christ's sake.
On the contrary, Antigaster, for the first time in my life, I finally realized the vital importance of being earnest.
Yeah, well done, man.
Still pineapple. She couldn't get a flower, so this is it.
Bye everyone, thank you for coming! Thank you for coming!
I went to get it and I was learning on it.
Okay, cool.
Grazie.
Right, great. First of all, folks, give yourselves a huge round of applause for the first night. You all did very, very well. I hope you all feel good, and I hope you have energy and kind of a drive to go on to the next two shows tomorrow. The main note is round's gone. The main note that we gave to everyone is we need to be a little bit louder, but that's totally fine. People were doing that in the third act, which was great. And the other thing is, I know I keep saying enjoy it, but the more you enjoy it, the slower you go, the more people will laugh. You saw tonight, people were really responsive. People were so responsive, and that was quite a quiet crowd considering. So my advice is the more you enjoy it and the slower you go, the more those jokes will get in and the more people will laugh overall, because you guys are so on it. You're so on point. And I think that when we refine it a little bit more in terms of our sound effects, in terms of our transitions and stuff, we can really build it up to make it the 100% best show we can make. So huge well done. I'll give you more specific notes and stuff tomorrow. Obviously there's some little notes and some little bits were skipped, but that's totally fine because we kept it going. Great. Away you go. Well done. Woo! Excellent.
Okay, so Cal.
Yes.
They
did it!
There we go.
First night! Woo! No, they did good. They did. I gotta say, I'm very, very proud. I'm very, very proud. A few little things to kind of like check up and refine, but that was more technical things. A few little bits that were skipped, but again, that's totally fine. We can work on that. Really, really positive show. I think we've got a lot of potential from where we can go. I'm chuffed. I'm properly chuffed. I'm very proud.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right, so you go have a nice night then.